from Toronto is out now on Netflix. It was purchased by Netflix from Sony Studios. Released today. In a case of mistaken identity, the world's deadliest assassin, known as the Man from Toronto, and a New York City screw-up are forced to team up after being confused for each other at an Airbnb. Movie stars Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson as these two characters. And look, I love me a good action comedy. This director, Patrick Hughes, previously directed The Hitman's Bodyguard, which I thought was a decent enough movie. I had enough fun with that, even if the action in that movie is edited pretty poorly. It was a fun enough time, and I bought the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. Clearly, this is an attempt to recapture that, but instead of Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, we have Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. And I try to be a little bit more lenient on action comedies because I know that they're trying to do two things. They're trying to crack some jokes and some humor in here while also trying to be a little bit campy. This movie just didn't work for me at all. This is a tonally inconsistent movie, even in its pacing. Its pacing is all over the place. I don't mean, oh, this scene lasts too long or, oh, this scene is too short. I think from a tonal standpoint, this movie goes back and forth way too much from one scene that's trying to be funny to really over-the-top serious, back to trying to be humorous and then fun and then super over-the-top serious. It's a tone that didn't really mesh for me. Now, if that tone had been, okay, we're trying to crack some humor here, but try to be over-the-top silly, somewhat serious, but you aren't taking it seriously, you know what I mean? I probably would have been more than okay with that, but tonally, it's a very inconsistent movie, and I think some scenes could have been shifted around to happen later in the movie, as opposed to where some scenes are actually placed in the movie. It really messed with the pacing, and it really messed with the tone. Let's talk about the action, because the action in this movie, it's very clear to me that this movie was filmed to be rated R and edited down in post-production to be a PG-13 action movie. It is so watered down and sanitized and just clean and safe that you don't feel like anybody's in danger. People are getting hit with like giant objects, like full-on dumbbell weights, and there's not a single scratch on these people. Everyone in this movie is a superhero. As I said, they get hit with these giant objects that should probably knock you out, and what do they have? Either a nosebleed or nothing on them, and they just get up and continue to fight like it's nothing. It's such a clean, safe way to present action. And there's an action scene at the end of this movie that is filmed in one take, and you can tell that they did that to hide how sanitized the violence is in this movie. It's such a bloodless affair that I could not believe what I was watching. It made the action that much less impactful and unrealistic, and it really hindered this movie in the long run. Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson are okay. They have okay chemistry. It's nothing great, you know. It's clear that the director of this movie was hired to direct these two in this movie because of his work on The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And they're like, okay, hey, look, you can handle a buddy action movie, right? Yeah, do it here too. And he completely missed the ball here. I thought that this was a poorly directed movie, but it was clear, obviously, I wasn't there, that, at least to me, that many scenes were filmed by the second unit. And it was just him being like, all right, get it done because we're in a rush here. It felt like a rush production schedule, and the director relying heavily on that second unit to film certain action scenes and certain dialogue scenes that just don't mesh well in the movie. For instance, Kaylee Cuoco's in this movie, as I thought she was going to be an assassin or something. Her character is completely pointless. Like, what was the point? All of her scenes felt like second unit scenes, you know what I mean? All the attempts at humor in this movie don't land. I don't think I cracked a smile or even chuckled once, which is a shame because I think Kevin Hart is a talented comedian. I think he can be really, really funny. It's just the script didn't give him a lot to work with humor-wise. It didn't seem like he was able to improvise a lot of his lines to turn them into jokes that would be a normal Kevin Hart joke. And the script is just all over the place. It becomes a convoluted mess towards the end. It becomes something that you don't really understand how everything's operating in this world. You just think, okay, they can just hire whoever and just kill whoever in the most unrealistic ways possible. I didn't buy it at the end. This is one of my least favorite movies of the year, guys. I don't really have much positive to say other than Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson, they were okay. You know, I sort of bought it, but I couldn't get invested in their characters. I couldn't get invested in the action. I couldn't get invested into this movie because, from a writing standpoint and tonally, it is so inconsistent and it's so sanitized with its violence that it should have been an R-rated movie, and a lot of second unit work here just feels out of place. I am gonna say you will enjoy The Man from Toronto with stale popcorn. Definitely not one of my favorite Netflix movies ever made. I still gotta watch like something like Hustle. I feel like if I watch Hustle with Adam Sandler, because I've heard great things about it, and if I like it, I feel like that will be very cathartic. So maybe I should do that. If you have seen The Man from Toronto, let me know what you think of the movie in the comments section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.